two shlokas from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 29th chapter, titled as Explanation of Devotional Service, Bhakti Yoga, by Kapiladev to Mata Devahuti. In this shloka, Kapiladev is explaining to Mata Devahuti about necessity of viewing all the living beings with equality, which is the necessity of spiritual life, and how we can recognize presence of Paramatma, divinity, within every living entity. Sometimes people have this discrimination attitude based on the physical differences, and that leads to obstacle in the path of their progress in the spiritual life. So everybody has to be respected and recognized based upon the spiritual presence of Paramatma within their heart. And that is highlighted in the two shlokas of this canto of chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll read one shloka at a time. First shloka we are going to read is the 26th shloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Muttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So, first shloka is Kapila Devi saying to Mata Devahuti, Atmanascha Parashyapi Yah Karoti Antarodaram Tasya Bhinna Drisho Mrityur Vidate Bhayam Ulbhanam. Which means, translation is, as the blazing fire of death, I cause great fear to whoever makes the least discrimination between himself and other living entities because of differential outlook. So, discrimination, when we discriminate, when we try to identify everybody on the bodily platform, then it creates more mental disturbance, and that leads to more anxiety. So Prabhupada is explaining in this purport, there are bodily differentiation among all variety of living entities, but a devotee should not distinguish between one living entity and another on the basis of bodily differences. A devotee's outlook should be that both the soul and supersoul are equally present in all the varieties of living entities. So here, Srila Prabhupada is trying to explain us that how divinity helps us to reduce the fear. So, as mentioned in the shloka and the purport, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead resides in all the living entities as very self, Bhuta Atma. However, our perception of this reality determines our existential fate, whether it is fear or freedom. So once we start recognizing the Paramatma within everybody's heart, then we become free. We are not anxious or not worried, because there is Paramatma within everybody's heart. But if we forget that and identify everybody with the body, then there is a fear of existential crisis. So that is what is mentioned here in the shloka. Atmanascha parasyapi yah karoti antarodaram tasya bhinna drisho mrityur vidadhe bhayam ulbanam. So, bhinna drasha. Bhinna drasha means identify everybody with the differential outlook. So that is the bhinna drasha. Atmanascha parashyapi yah karoshi antarodaram tasya bhinna drisho mrityur. Bhinna. having differential outlook. And then the next word is in this shloka is Antara Udaram. Antara Udaram means discriminate between the bodies. Then there is a fear of mrityu, death. So more we discriminate uh, between living entities, there is a crisis, existential crisis. There is a fear, and this fear leads to anxiety and consequence. So the consequence is, as the blazing fire of death, I cause great fear to whoever makes the least discrimination between himself and other living entities because of differential outlook. So, the problem of bodily identification or differentiation. So, there are different visions. While bodily identification naturally exists among all the living entities, the devotee must not distinguish based upon them. The correct vision is just the devotee's outlook. And what is that? Both the soul and super soul are equally present in all the living beings, regardless of their external form. So that leads to a sort of a liberation in your mind. It relieves your mind from the anxiety that there's a Paramatma within everybody's heart. So nobody's going to hurt me because it's Krishna there in their heart. So that psychology of fear, bhayam ulbanam, which is mentioned here in this shloka, which is a great fear. When we see others as distinct from ourselves and unconnected to divinity, we create a world of competition and threat. And this competition and threat creates a fear. And this fractured vision invites Supreme Lord to act as Mrityu rather than protector. So rather than differentiating with others, just treat everybody as part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna will guide everybody. There is nothing to worry about it. So, bhinna drashaha. So from darkness to illumination, from bridge to illumination, from bhinna drasha to maitriya, friendly behavior. So differential vision and friendly vision. Friendly vision is that everybody is part and parcel of Krishna, and we are here to serve Krishna. So here, how do we move from fear of death to sanctuary of friendship? So how do you do this? Move from one darkness to light. So that is explained in next shloka. So the next shloka, Kapila Dev explains to Mata Devahuti. We read the next shloka. So what is that next shloka? Next shloka reads as Srimad Bhagavatam 3.29.27. Athamam sarva bhuteshu bhutatmanam kritalayam arayet danamanabhyam maitrya bhinne chakshusha. Translation is, therefore, through the charitable gifts and attention, as well as through friendly behavior, by viewing all to be alike, one should propitiate me, who abide in all the creatures as their very self. So here, Kapila Dev is explaining to Mata Devahuti that Atha Ma Sarva Bhuteshu, which means that for all the living entities, we should be kind and compassionate, and at the same time we should have proper behavior with them. So through the charitable gift and attention, as well as through friendly behavior, treat everybody with equal vision. So here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, it should not be misunderstood that because the super soul is dwelling within the heart of every living entity, the individual soul has become equal to him. The equality of super soul and individual soul is misconceived by the impersonalist. Here it is distinctly mentioned that individual soul should be recognized and relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The method of worshipping the individual soul is described here as either giving charitable gift or behaving in a friendly manner, free from the separatist outlook. The impersonalist sometimes accepts a poor individual soul as being Daridra Narayan, meaning that Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has become poor. This is contradiction. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is full of all the opulences. We can agree to live with a poor soul or even with the animal, but does not make him poor. So here, sometimes with the material identity, everybody identifies somebody as a poor or uh, not so in a good condition. But that should not be our focus. So here, Kapila Dev is explaining to Mata Devati that our behavior should include Maitriya. Maitriya means friendship. Also, we have to be charitable. If somebody does not have, we have to share what we have. We have to respect everybody as part and parcel of Krishna. And Abhinne Chakshusha, viewing everybody with equal vision. That is very important. So, therefore, through the charitable gifts and attention, as well as through friendly behavior, and by viewing all to be alike, one should appropriate me, who abide in the creature of as their very self. So, when we um, practice spiritual aspects of our life, then we have to be charitable as well as distribute if we have something more with us, with extra. Now, relationship is not identity. Sometimes, there is Paramatma within us, and sometimes people, Mayavadis, they think that Atma is equal to Paramatma, but that is not possible. Soul is subservient of Paramatma. We can never merge with Paramatma. This is very important when you understand the relationship of Atma and Paramatma. Now, dana, charity, and mana, respect. Dana and charity, mana, has to be given to everybody. Dana is given to those who are materially or economically inferior. And compassion is given to the needy, not to the wealthy. While man or respect is applicable to superiors, one offers respect to those in the higher position. So, for the people who are higher than us, we respect them. People who are equal to us, we make friendship with them. And people who are lower than us, we become kind and compassionate and give charity. This is called equal vision. So, these Mayavadis or impersonalists, they have a confusion. They think that as there is Atma within us and Paramatma, Atma and Paramatma has become one. But that does not happen. Atma will always remain Atma and Paramatma will always remain Paramatma. There is like father and son. Son cannot become father. He cannot replace the father, but he can definitely be with father and help him out in his activities. Some people call God as Daridra Narayan because when they see poor people, they call poor people as Daridra Narayan. They think that God has also become Daridra. But that is not there. The Srila Prabhupada gives a correction. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, has lot of opulence. And he is never Daridra. He has 6 kinds of opulence, right? So that is Bhagavan. So the living entity may be rich or poor based upon the fruitive activity, but Krishna is always unchangeable. The crucial distinction is that threatening a living entity equally means respecting the Lord within, not falsely elevating the mortal being to be the status of God. Compassion does not associate theological confusion. So then Srila Prabhupada ji explains about 4 varnas and ashramas here. So here Prabhupada ji explains there are 2 Sanskrit words. What is the first one? First Sanskrit word is mana and dana. Mana indicates superior and dana indicates giving to charity or donation to the one who is in need. We cannot treat Supreme Personality of Godhead as inferior who is dependent on our charitable gift. So sometimes people give donation to the temple, to Lord Krishna, and they think that we are giving a donation, so Krishna is poor and I'm the one who is giving. Actually, they are crazy. It does not happen like that. When we give charity, it is to a person who is inferior or in his material or economic condition. But charity cannot be given to a rich man. Hmm? So when we are giving it to Krishna or the temple, we are giving a man, respect. The Krishna, this is my respect to you. We are not giving charity to Krishna. How can we give charity to Krishna? Krishna is far more wealthier than us. So we can't give charity. You can give to poor people. But when you give something to temple to the Krishna, it is man, respect. Charity is not given to a rich man. Similarly, it is explicitly stated here that man or respect is offered to superior. Charity is offered to inferior. So one who is lower than us, we give them charity. Like who does not have enough and we have little extra, we give the charity. And those who are senior to us, we give them man, respect. The living entity, according to different sets of fruitive activities, may become rich or poor, but Supreme Personality of Godhead is unchangeable. He is always in his full opulences. Treating a living entity equally does not mean treating him as one with Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, when we are saying that treat everybody equally, does not mean that we treat any living entity just like God. That is not possible. There is a God within everybody, but the living entity never becomes God. That is the most important thing we have to understand. So compassion and friendliness does not necessitate falsely elevating someone to the exalted position of Supreme Personality of Godhead. We should not at the same time misunderstand that the super soul situated in the heart of animal like dog or hog and the super soul situated in the heart of learned Brahmana are different. So God, who is Paramatma within the heart of all the living entities, is the same. There is no difference. Here it is mentioned here. The super soul is not different. When Narayan lives in a hog, he does not become hog Narayan. He remains unaffected by the body, creating his Vaikuntha situation everywhere. So Krishna is there in the heart of all the human beings, animals, but he does not become a human Narayan or animal Narayan. Krishna himself always remains Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is very important. So that is called equal vision, seeing the super soul, Bhutatma Nam, as constantly. No constant reality, no separatism, no poor God fallacy, and active service, friendship, and charity. So the devotee's outlook is Bhinna Drashara. Bhinna Drashara means never judge anybody by body. Adopt friendly behavior, Maitri, and equal vision. Practice charity. Give charity to or dana to those who are in need, and those who are superior, give them respect, and realize that Krishna is present in all the heart, everybody's heart. So this is the message of the shloka: is the unity in diversity. By propitiating Lord through friendship and lack of separatism, we transcend the blazing fire of death and enter the eternal shelter of divinity. So with that, we'll pause here and we'll continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam tomorrow. Prantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.